What do you think changed? What do you think changed where we got to the point where we are now, where it's just so, everything's so like loose? Because you know, you're a little bit older. Obviously, you have children.
Yeah.
What changed? Is it just like some like what? Because in my opinion, not my opinion, but my question to you is really like, what would be the purpose of this like?
I'll tell you.
Dissolution of.
Okay, so I'll give you my. There's 3 communities that have ruined America. 3 communities that have ruined America. It's the tolerant Christians, it's the do-your-thing libertarians, and it's the rich Republicans that don't want anybody to know that they're Republicans because they're afraid they're going to lose their Democratic friends. And they won't be invited to those parties. So let me unpack this for you. Most Republicans are cowards internally. They're frightened. They're so afraid. They're so scared. And when I say Republican, forget about Republican. Let's say conservative is the word. Most conservative. What's conservative? It's my money. I worked hard for it. You know, my kids, conservative. I believe in family. I believe in man and a woman marry, have kids, and they raise. Conservative beliefs, right? Okay. So why Christian, tolerant Christians? Because there's so much like, it's okay. It's okay. Where the hell are your standards? Say it's not okay. What do you mean it's okay? No, it's not okay. Stand up and say, no, it's not okay. The Pope, it's okay. Come have a luncheon with us. Yeah, invite that trans group. Yeah, let's do this. What the hell do you mean it's okay? Where's your backbone? What's the manual you follow? Did you recreate one? Do you have a new one? You know why Muslims are growing at the pace that they're growing? Say what you want about Muslims. They average 2.9 kids per woman. Christians average 2.1. The way it's going right now, within 30 years, Muslims are going to be running America. Whether you like it or not, the House, the Senate, governors are going to be Muslims. It's what's going to happen. They're having more kids.
Just because of the birth rate.
It's just not, you're not going to be able to compete with them. It's purely mathematical, okay? Christians, non-Muslims are not having enough kids. U.S., at this pace, if we go with the math, it's going to be a Sharia law in U.S. It may take 30, 50 years, but it's eventually going to happen because Christians only have 1 kid or 2 kids. Muslims, they want to keep having kids. And God forbid you say something about Prophet Muhammad. God forbid you say something about their God. God forbid you disrespect them. Do you know what happens if you do that? Khabib is in a press conference with Conor.
Yeah.
The guy asks a question and he says, hey, Khabib, salam alaikum. Hey, and also Conor, want to congratulate you on your proper 12 drink. Khabib responds, hey, you can't say those 2 things at the same time. You can't say salam alaikum and then he says, yeah, shut the fuck. What are you going to do? Do something about it, right? He did.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let go. And then he lost his mind. You think Khabib gives a shit about money? I had him at my event a few months ago. No. We were doing an interview. But Khabib is such a believer of his country and his religion that they're not tolerant. So the tolerant Christians in America ruined it. Like, yeah, let's take out prayer out of school and replace it with what? Whatever you take, you have to replace it with something. For example, let's just say you're a smoker and you smoke 2-3 packs a day. I want to stop smoking. The way you quit is you got to replace it with something, right? What are you going to replace it with? Vape? It's the same shit. Well, I'm going to quit smoking this, but I'm going to replace it. I'm going to quit doing this, but I'm going to, okay, what is that going to be? There's got to be a replacement. We replace prayer with what? Indoctrination. So number one community was the tolerant Christians. I don't want to go too much into it, but that's the first one. The second one thing is libertarians. And I identify as a libertarian because I'm kind of like the guys like, look, let me just do my thing and just kind of leave me alone. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, because let's talk about this, and then I want to talk about more about tolerance. We'll talk about it after.
No problem. Yeah. So the libertarian side is kind of like, you know who the most guys that just work and do their thing and they're kind of independent, they're libertarians. They have the wiring of, dude, I don't care. If I want to put drugs in my body, it's my body. If I want to smoke weed, it's my body. If I want to do this, it's my body. All right, cool. To each his own, right? Okay, that's great. But the do-your-thing libertarian community gave so much leeway to the establishment that finally they're like, oh, now we're going to do our thing with your kids because they're with us now in school. 8 hours a day. They spend more time with us than they do with you, mommy and daddy. Oh, shit, we screwed up.
But what's the purpose, though? Like, what's
control.
The point of it?
It's control and to get them into a way of thinking that's different than yours and mine. Look, if you want data, in America, public schools, do you know what percentage of English teachers donate to the Democratic Party? 98%. Do you know what percentage of science teachers donate to Democratic Party? 97%. Do you know what percentage of math teachers in public school, this is public information, math teachers is not 98, is not 97, it's 87. Why? Because at least math, you and I get to sit there and say, yeah, that logic doesn't make sense. The logic doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? This just doesn't make sense. So there is and by the way, in Twitter, one of the first things that Elon Musk, when they went and found out about all their employees, 98% of Twitter employees were donating to the Democratic Party. So that was one of the first things that Elon kind of leaked to the public. And it's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here with the Twitter files when they released it to the public? So the first one is the tolerant Christians. Second one is the do your thing libertarians. And the last one is the rich conservatives that are afraid of being targeted. God forbid they target them. So, hey, make sure we don't tell anybody, because if they know, we will not be invited to that party.
You know what's funny about this one?
Yeah.
I have a really famous friend, like a super famous friend, who's in the music industry, and I'll never say the name, but I remember he was talking about not posting, like, or having to post congratulations for Biden for winning the election, when he didn't feel that way, but he knew that if he didn't post it, he'd be somewhat alienated from essentially the music industry.
That's right.
And, I guess a portion of his audience.
And he would be.
But that's fucking crazy.
It is.
Because I guess the thing that I could see why, but I also go like, what's happening? Like, why are we losing?
We've lost our backbone. That's what I'm trying to say. We've lost our backbone. So we have gone away from putting a leader first, a leader with backbone as first. Okay, everything in life is about.
But is it because everyone's afraid of losing money?
No, we've made money God instead of leadership and values and principles. Like, don't get me wrong. You got to have money to have a bigger mic, for sure.
Yeah.
But at what cost? At what cost? So, how much money can I give you for you to become gay tomorrow? Can I give you $1 billion?
It wouldn't change my sexuality for money.
But do you understand? What if I told you, starting tomorrow, I want you to do surgery. I want you to become a girl. I want you to get a boob. I'm being honest with you. But I want you to think about this. Would you do it for $1 billion?
No.
Would you do it for $10 billion?
No, I love being me.
What if I made you the richest man in the world?
No.
That's the point. We need more guys like you. But watch how stupid of a question this is. What I'm asking, like, what kind of a question does somebody ask me? What are you talking about? That's the point. We got to get back to that. There's certain limits in life.
But we're not even talking about $1 billion here for most people. It's like
I know that, but trust me. Like, sometimes it's become fame and money has become more valuable than actually being a valued leader with character that's tough, that's stubborn, that's willing to stand up, that's able to reason and able to give his message, give his argument, get people to say, here's how I think about this. Here's what I think we ought to do. Here's why we ought to rise up and stand up for this. We are out of whack in our priorities. We look at heroes in a complete different way because of social media era. It's a very confusing way of what we look at. It's no longer about, how many followers can I have? How many likes did I get? How many this? And by the way, this goes across the board to everybody. Versus, no, I'm good, man. We're not taking money for that. No, we're not going to be doing that part. Like the other day I had a conversation with a couple of our sponsors. They're like, well, we'll give you $1 million. Nope, we're not doing it. We'll give you $1.5 million, whatever the number they were offering us. And my guy, the marketing guy's doing the math. He's like, man, 7%, Pat, we got to do this. I'm like, I'm not doing this. So what do you mean you're not doing this? I'm telling you, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this for any amount they give us. That's not my brand. That's not what I believe in.